sets the stage for the entire story, establishing both the immediate conflict and the larger HFY theme of human resilience and superiority in the galaxy. The narrative begins on Jaron 7, a remote human colony tucked away in a quiet, insignificant star system. The location is crucial. It emphasizes the isolation of the colony, highlighting how ordinary humans, far from the main hubs of galactic civilization, can still trigger extraordinary events. Jaron 7's obscurity reinforces the idea that humans are underestimated by other species, which is a recurring motif in HFY. Humans are special, even when others think they are weak. The peaceful life of the colony is suddenly shattered by a raider fleet, alien aggressors with the intent to plunder and dominate. Their sudden attack creates a sense of chaos and urgency, immediately drawing the reader into a high-stakes situation. The aliens are depicted as confident and violent, tearing through defenses with ease. This establishes them as a credible threat, making the later human response even more impressive. By showing the alien fleet's initial dominance, the story ensures that the human actions in the following sections feel earned rather than coincidental or contrived. In the midst of the attack, we meet Kieran Holt, a human technician. Kieran is not a military hero or a trained soldier. He is an ordinary individual thrust into an extraordinary situation. This choice is deliberate. HFY stories often highlight human ingenuity and courage emerging from ordinary circumstances. Kieran's role as the one who activates the emergency beacon demonstrates human adaptability and presence of mind under extreme pressure. While the colony is under siege and most people are panicking, he recognizes the importance of sending a distress signal. This moment reinforces one of the core HFY ideas. Humans can make critical decisions in life or death situations that other species might not even consider. The SOS itself is simple. Under attack. Need immediate support. Jaron 7. Its brevity underscores human efficiency. Humans don't waste time with unnecessary details or diplomatic formalities. They communicate the essential information and then let their actions, or in this case, their allies' actions, speak. The story uses this SOS as a symbolic pivot point. It is the literal call for help, but it also represents a metaphysical summoning of humanity's latent power across the galaxy. The narrative hints that this call is unique, not just another distress signal in the galactic noise. It is significant, enough to awaken a human armada, which foreshadows the enormous scale and efficiency of human response in later parts. When the human fleet arrives, the story emphasizes speed, coordination, and precision. The humans are not just coming to fight, they are arriving as a cohesive, unstoppable force. Their approach is described almost like a natural phenomenon, predatory and inevitable. This depiction is critical for HFY storytelling. It reinforces the theme that humans, even when outnumbered or underestimated, have an innate superiority in strategy, technology, and willpower. The humans do not negotiate or hesitate. They execute their mission flawlessly, emphasizing their role as apex responders in the galaxy. An important aspect of Part 1 is the contrast between alien expectation and human reality. The raiders likely assumed that a small colony could be destroyed without consequence. They underestimate the humans, as many alien species in HFY narratives do. The human fleet's arrival shatters this assumption. This contrast is central to the HFY theme of humans defying conventional logic and expectation. It's not just brute strength. The story emphasizes coordination, timing, and understanding of the situation. The humans arrive exactly when needed, in the numbers needed, and with the precision required to turn what seemed like a hopeless situation into a decisive victory. Finally, Part 1 also sets the emotional tone of the story. Kieran's shock and awe at witnessing the human fleet reflects the reader's own perspective. By experiencing the story through a character who is in awe of human capabilities, the narrative allows the reader to absorb the scale and significance of human power. in a galaxy that had ignored or underestimated them. This emotional connection is vital. It ensures that the later parts, where humans escalate their counterattacks, carry even more weight and impact. Shifts focus from the immediate crisis on Zarin 7 to the wider galactic repercussions of the human response. While Part 1 centered on human efficiency and courage in the face of danger, Part 2 examines how other species perceive humans when they witness, directly or indirectly, the consequences of their actions. This section is crucial because it expands the narrative from a single colony under siege to a galaxy-wide stage, emphasizing one of the core HFY themes. Humanity is underestimated, but when revealed, inspires awe and fear across the stars. The section opens with the surviving raiders retreating and broadcasting fragmented reports of the attack. These reports serve several purposes. First, they provide the alien perspective, showing how other species interpret the human response. The raiders are not just defeated, they are terrified and bewildered. Their descriptions of the humans as a weapon highlight a key narrative element. Humans are not just another military force, they are a species-level threat capable of operating at unprecedented scale and efficiency. This moment contrasts sharply with the Raiders' initial confidence in Part 1, reinforcing the HFY motif that aliens often underestimate humans until it's too late. Next, the story emphasizes human operational instinct. The human fleet doesn't merely respond to the SOS with the minimal force required, they act as a fully synchronized armada. Captains of hundreds of vessels move with what the aliens perceive as almost telepathic coordination. This is a recurring HFY trope. Humans, even when spread across vast distances and led by independent commanders, act as if they are a single entity. It demonstrates both superior training and an innate human ability to cooperate under pressure, a combination rarely found in other galactic civilizations within the story. The narrative then underscores the failure of alien intelligence and strategy. Despite centuries of experience in warfare and prediction, alien strategists cannot calculate human response times or deployment patterns. Their models, built on logic and prior data, fail to account for the human speed, creativity, and determination. This emphasizes another HFY element. Humans are unpredictable by nature, and their ingenuity defies traditional expectations. The story illustrates that human response is both logical and instinctive. They follow procedure, yet adapt fluidly to changing circumstances, making them impossible to outmaneuver. Through Kieran's perspective, the story conveys the sheer scale and speed of the human armada. Having expected only a small squadron to arrive, he is overwhelmed when hundreds of vessels appear in hours. This narrative choice serves to heighten reader engagement. Through Kieran, we experience astonishment and awe, reinforcing the HFY message that humans are extraordinary, even to those who rely on them for protection. By witnessing this, Kieran and the reader alike realize that a simple SOS is more than a distress call. It is a summoning of a force of nature. Part 2 also introduces the concept of human decisiveness in combat. The humans do not negotiate or waste time on diplomatic gestures. This is key to the alien realization. Humans act with clarity of purpose, focusing solely on the objective of neutralizing threats. Their methods are ruthless but calculated. By showing that humans do not hesitate to eliminate enemy forces while safeguarding civilians, the story reinforces the theme of strategic efficiency combined with moral clarity, a hallmark of HFY narratives. Additionally, the story emphasizes the psychological impact on aliens. The surviving raiders are in shock, their reports filled with fear and incomprehension. The alien fleets begin to recognize a dangerous truth. Attacking humans, even a seemingly minor colony, carries consequences far beyond their expectations. This section expands the HFY narrative from individual heroics to species-level reputation. Humans are not just strong or clever. They are a galactic force whose presence and response reshape strategic calculations across multiple systems. Finally, Part 2 sets up the foreshadowing for the counteroffensive in Part 3. By illustrating how the human fleet's arrival and effectiveness create panic and disarray among alien forces, the story primes the reader for the next escalation. Aliens begin to reassess their assumptions, realizing that human intervention is not limited to defense. It can extend to relentless pursuit and strategic dominance. This anticipation builds tension and cements the HFY theme. Humanity is not to be underestimated, and even a single human signal can mobilize unprecedented force. Represents the narrative turning point where the humans transition from reactive defense to proactive domination. While Parts 1 and 2 focus on the SOS response and the alien realization of human power, Part 3 showcases humans taking the fight to the enemy, establishing themselves not merely as defenders, but as strategic predators capable of reshaping galactic conflict. This section is crucial for emphasizing the HFY, humans are special theme. Humans are not only resilient under threat, but their ingenuity, coordination, and moral clarity make them an unstoppable force once engaged. The section opens with the ripple effect of the SOS. The distress call from Geron 7 does not remain isolated. It sends waves of consequence across nearby systems. Alien fleets, previously confident in their superiority, begin scrambling to respond. Yet, what they encounter is unlike any conventional military force they have faced. The humans are not simply present. They hunt systematically, striking with precision and efficiency. This immediate shift from defense to counteroffensive establishes humans as a species capable of taking initiative rather than merely reacting to crises. It reinforces the narrative idea that humans escalate threats decisively and in ways that alien civilizations cannot anticipate. The story emphasizes the human's methodical and strategic nature. Unlike alien species that rely on overwhelming numbers, cunning, or brute force, humans combine intelligence, technology, and timing to dismantle enemy forces. The fleet systematically tracks down the raiders' staging areas, supply lines, and command hubs. Each strike is calculated to maximize impact while minimizing unnecessary destruction. This highlights a core HFY trope. Humans excel not only in physical or technological might, but in strategic foresight and adaptability, qualities that set them apart from other galactic powers. Kieran's perspective as an observer is again central to conveying the story's scale. He witnesses ships moving with surgical precision, covering vast distances and coordinating complex maneuvers seamlessly. This evokes awe and reinforces the sense that humans operate almost as a single organism when unified by a common purpose. HFY storytelling often emphasizes this collective instinct. Humans are depicted as capable of unprecedented coordination, under pressure, allowing them to achieve objectives that other species would consider impossible. Kieran's astonishment mirrors the reader's, ensuring that the narrative effectively communicates the sheer magnitude of human capability. Part 3 also underscores the psychological impact on alien civilizations. Reports of human strikes create fear and uncertainty among the raiders' allies and other nearby species. Even those not directly attacked recognize the existential threat humans represent. The humans' actions are surgical yet overwhelming. They eliminate only hostile targets, preserving civilians and neutral systems. This duality, a combination of relentless effectiveness and moral clarity, is central to HFY narratives. Humans are feared because they are efficient and uncompromising, but they are also respected because their power is applied with intent and ethics rather than mindless destruction. The narrative further emphasizes humans' unpredictability, which alien strategists cannot account for. They attempt to predict human movements and anticipate attacks, but every calculation fails. Humans combine intuition with experience, improvising in real time while adhering to strategic objectives. This is a hallmark HFY theme. Humans defy conventional logic, forcing even the most sophisticated alien planners to rethink their assumptions. The story conveys that humans are not only technologically advanced, but also uniquely adaptive, capable of exploiting weaknesses that others fail to perceive. Additionally, Part 3 reinforces the idea of humans as a galaxy-altering force. The counteroffensive is not confined to retaliation for Zarin 7. It expands the scope of human influence, establishing deterrence across multiple sectors. Alien fleets now recognize that any attack on a human colony could provoke not just a localized response, but a campaign that spans hundreds of systems. This transforms the SOS from a simple call for help into a catalyst for galactic order, demonstrating that humans operate on a level far beyond individual ships or colonies. Finally, the section sets the stage for the story's broader thematic arc. The humans' counteroffensive leaves aliens scrambling, fearful, and disoriented. Kieran and other survivors witness the full scope of human capabilities: decisive action, coordinated strikes, moral clarity, and unstoppable momentum. Part 3 effectively demonstrates that humans are not merely participants in galactic conflict. They are game changers, capable of reshaping the strategic landscape with a combination of speed, intelligence, and resolve. Of the story expands the narrative from localized combat to galaxy-wide consequences, showing how human actions reshape the perception and strategy of alien civilizations. While previous parts focused on human heroism in defense, Part 1, and the tactical counteroffensive, Part 3, this section emphasizes the psychological, diplomatic, and reputational impact of humans on the galaxy, a central theme in HFY storytelling. It portrays humanity not just as warriors, but as an unpredictable and decisive species whose mere presence generates awe and fear. The section opens by highlighting the spread of news and rumors about the SOS and the human response. Alien civilizations across multiple star systems begin to understand the scale of human capabilities. Communication networks buzz with discussions, warnings, and urgent strategizing. The narrative emphasizes that humans are not only militarily formidable, but also culturally and strategically significant, capable of influencing other species' behavior even in regions where they have not yet intervened directly. This shift from tactical to psychological impact is key. HFY stories often portray humans as shaping the galaxy through reputation, not just firepower. The fear that spreads among aliens is rooted in multiple factors. First, humans operate unpredictably. Alien fleets, which are used to careful calculations and predictable strategies, find themselves outmaneuvered and bewildered. Even experienced commanders admit privately that human actions cannot be predicted with conventional models. This unpredictability reinforces a common HFY motif. Humans possess innate ingenuity and adaptability that surpasses other species' understanding. Unlike aliens who rely heavily on prior data or hierarchical orders, humans respond fluidly to crises, improvising, while maintaining effectiveness. This quality transforms humans into a psychological weapon. Their presence alone creates uncertainty and fear. Second, the humans' efficiency and precision amplify the terror they inspire. In Part 3, the counteroffensive demonstrated their ability to hunt down raiders' staging areas, supply lines, and command hubs. In Part 4, the story emphasizes that this pattern is not isolated, it is repeatable, consistent, and observable across the galaxy. Other species realize that if a human armada responds to a threat in one system, it is capable of extending that response across entire sectors. The narrative portrays this as a form of galactic deterrence. Humans do not merely punish, they signal that any aggression has consequences far beyond the immediate battlefield. Part 4 also explores the diplomatic consequences of human power. Alien diplomats and leaders, once confident in their strategies and treaties, begin to approach humans cautiously, offering resources, technology, or even peace agreements to avoid provoking an SOS. This reaction highlights another HFY concept. Humans command respect across the galaxy not through coercion alone, but through the undeniable threat of competent action combined with moral clarity. The story makes it clear that humans' reputation precedes them, and their interventions shape political decisions before a single human ship even arrives. The narrative again uses Kieran's perspective to humanize the impact. Through his eyes, readers understand the awe and fear that humans inspire, not only in their enemies but in witnesses and allies alike. Kieran, a simple technician from a small colony, perceives the magnitude of what a single SOS can achieve. His observations reinforce the story's HFY theme. Even ordinary humans are connected to this extraordinary capability, making the entire species seem unstoppable when united by purpose. A crucial point in Part 4 is the moral duality of human power. While humans are terrifying to those who threaten them, they are protective and ethical toward civilians and allies. This contrast, ruthless against enemies but principled with innocence, creates a unique psychological impact. Alien species cannot categorize humans simply as a threat or ally. They are a force that transcends conventional morality and strategy. The story highlights that this combination of unpredictability, efficiency, and ethics is what makes humans truly exceptional in the eyes of the galaxy. Finally, Part 4 sets the stage for the concluding part of the story. It establishes humans as a galaxy-altering force whose mere reputation can stabilize or destabilize entire regions. The fear and respect they inspire are as powerful as their technological and tactical superiority. Alien civilizations are forced to reconsider assumptions about power, strategy, and diplomacy whenever humans are involved. This reinforces the HFY theme that humans, through a mix of ingenuity, resolve, and moral clarity, are unmatched in both war and influence, leaving a lasting mark on the galaxy's structure. In summary, Part 4 emphasizes the psychological and diplomatic impact of humans across the stars. It shows that humans are feared, serves as the climactic resolution and thematic culmination of the story. While previous sections established the SOS, the initial human response, and the counteroffensive that reshaped alien strategy, this part emphasizes the lasting impact of humanity's intervention. It demonstrates that humans are not merely reactive defenders or tactical geniuses. They are a species whose very presence alters the political, psychological, and strategic landscape of the galaxy. This final part reinforces key HFY themes: human ingenuity, adaptability, ethical power, and the awe-inspiring scale of their influence. The section begins with the reconstruction of Xaran 7, highlighting the tangible effects of human intervention. Unlike alien militaries, which often exploit or abandon the systems they protect, humans actively rebuild, restore, and safeguard their allies. This establishes an important HFY motif. Humans are responsible and compassionate, combining power with stewardship. Kieran, who has witnessed the Armada's overwhelming capabilities, sees that human involvement extends beyond mere military might. They are guardians, ensuring that the colonies they protect can continue to thrive, rather than simply eliminating threats. This human ethic contrasts sharply with the behavior of many alien species who prioritize conquest, profit, or revenge. Part 5 also emphasizes the symbolic and psychological legacy of the SOS. The story describes how alien species now speak in hushed tones about the human armada, warning one another about provoking human systems. Even those who have not directly encountered humans understand the consequences of aggression. A single SOS could mobilize an entire species-level response capable of annihilating fleets and reshaping sectors. This establishes humans not just as warriors, but as a galactic-level deterrent, reinforcing the HFY idea that humans operate on an unprecedented scale. Their influence is felt long after individual battles are over, creating a reputation that affects diplomacy, strategy, and culture. A critical component of this part is the emphasis on human predictability in unpredictability. While humans are feared for their adaptability and rapid response, they are guided by a clear moral compass. The story notes that humans act decisively to protect life, to enforce justice, and to safeguard allies, but they are ruthless toward threats. This duality, compassion toward innocents, relentless action against aggressors, makes humans incomprehensible to other species. Aliens cannot easily anticipate human behavior because humans balance ethics and efficiency in ways that defy standard logic or models. Part 5 reinforces this theme by showing that even after multiple interventions, the galaxy cannot fully calculate the humans' next move. Their presence alone ensures caution, respect, and fear, achieving strategic dominance without constant combat. The narrative also highlights Kieran's realization of the humans' extraordinary scale and coordination. Having been a simple technician, Kieran embodies the perspective of ordinary humans observing extraordinary events. His awe mirrors the readers, grounding the story emotionally. Through Kieran, we understand that humans are not just a tactical force, they are a species-level phenomenon. The SOS, once a desperate plea, has become legendary, symbolizing the power, unity, and determination of humanity. This reinforces the HFY theme that humans are exceptional not because of technology alone, but because of their ingenuity, resolve, and collective spirit. Part 5 also explores the long-term ramifications for the galaxy. Alien civilizations are forced to reconsider their strategic assumptions, alliances, and expansion plans. The story emphasizes that human intervention is not temporary or localized. It has permanent systemic effects. The human armada, summoned by a single SOS, acts as both shield and deterrent, ensuring that no system is left entirely vulnerable. The galaxy learns a fundamental truth. Humans cannot be ignored, and aggression against them or their allies carries existential consequences. Finally, Part 5 closes the story on a thematic note of awe and inevitability. The humans are unstoppable, not because they seek domination, but because they act with clarity, purpose, and ethical intent. Kieran's perspective emphasizes that the galaxy's understanding of humans is evolving. Once underestimated, humanity now commands respect, fear, and admiration simultaneously. The SOS, originally a cry for help, has demonstrated that a single human action can mobilize the collective might of an entire species. In conclusion, Part 5 ties together all elements of the story: heroism, tactical genius, unpredictability, moral clarity, and galactic influence. The narrative reinforces HFY motifs by showing humans as innovative, adaptable, protective, and fearsome. The SOS is no longer just a signal. It is a symbol of humanity's unstoppable power and their unique ability to reshape the galaxy through decisive action and principled strength. Humanity emerges as both a literal and symbolic force, a species whose courage, coordination, and ethics ensure that wherever humans are, justice and protection follow, and enemies face the consequences of their aggression.